Pisces, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for February 15th through the 21st of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology, very different from mainstream astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to click the link for more information. All right, so this week we've got a lot of planets shifting. We've got the Sun, Mercury, and Venus all shifting signs this week, starting on Monday with the Sun and Mercury. So right off the bat, a lot of these same energies we've been involved with are certainly taking on a new form this week. One in particular, at least one most noticeable one, will be the Sun going into your 12th house. So this last, energy and this last lunar cycle, and it still is about this 11th house, which is about the community side of things, or your ideals in life, maybe connecting with organizations or groups that you're a part of, or if not, just really accessing what you want to see in the future. This is the house of your hopes, wishes, and ideals. So where I think that has been an area of focus will continue to be, not so much focus, but I think you'll continue to think about these areas and cultivate these areas with Mercury here. And of course, that lunar cycle is suggesting that for the next 6 months, you'll be cultivating these ideals, visions, and anything organizational or group related. Now, at the beginning of the week, we are going to be in the first quarter phase. So, this is directly in relation to that, where you can integrate and ground and really constructively work on these new insights that you may have had in this area over the past week. Now, in terms of the Sun shifting, you're going to have the Sun going into your 12th house of spirituality, of behind-the-scenes activities, of everything on that deeper level. So it's a good time to rest with this. This is a natural house for you Pisceans anyways. Getting that intuition, connecting to it. Anything you do that's meditative can be quite good, and that's going to be a source of energy for you. You're going to notice that when you have that presence in your everyday experiences, you just have more awareness, you have more insight, you have more flow with that. And this has been an area of perhaps uncertainty for you, the spirituality or whatnot, with Neptune in that 12th. Maybe a lot of you have been going through some healing these past 4 or 5 years with Chiron in that 12th. So it's nice to actually have the Sun come in here and illuminate, help you see, because no matter what, that Sun shines, and it's shining in that 12th house of your psyche, your unconscious, your spiritual self, helping you understand more about those areas of yourself and where you can cultivate this greater sense of, intuition, of faith and trust, and everything else that is about that flow of life. Now, with that shift, of course, Mercury in your 11th is going to keep everything, I think, still thinking about the ideals and thinking about the group or organizational stuff, if that's the case. So it's good to work with that, practically, work with that. And then later in the week on Thursday, Venus is going to go into that 11th house. So I think you can enjoy that, maybe networking, maybe connecting to friends, maybe joining a group or getting involved with groups or organizations, or enjoying the fact that you can be, working with these ideals of yours. And usually with Venus in the 11th, it tends to pull on more of the collective nature of yourself. So really seeing where you can give, share, and contribute with others. Now, as we go into this early part of the week, we've only got one major aspect going on. This is Tuesday and Wednesday, Mars sextiling up to the North Node. So this is nothing new. That Mars has been sextiling up to Jupiter this previous weekend, but it's a very nice aspect, and it's involving this new life path shift, which is taking place for you to really cultivate the earthly side of things, the everyday side of things, which is the 6th house. You've had Jupiter here, so maybe you're learning more about your time, your energy, your work, your routine, your health, your diet, your regimens. A lot of that is selective and introverted, which is your ruler Jupiter retrograde here. But it's still a big area of focus, a big area of concern for you. And I think it's very supportive this week, or at least can be, with this easy aspect. Sextiles are just kind of creating openings, and we can choose or choose not to work with them, but I think at least on some level there is an inspiration or motivation to do and cultivate these things. Now, vice versa, Jupiter will be associated with that Mars, and so here I think you have been perhaps finding more motivation and drive to connect to what really matters in life, or to express the truth, or to really uncover the truth, which has been Mars in that 8th. So a great early part of the week for that as well. Mars does rule your 2nd house, so it could be easy or supportive with the financial material stuff for some of you. And Mars rules your 9th, so it could be quite adventurous. Maybe it's a good early part of the week to go outside, maybe connect to some nature, maybe read philosophy, these kinds of things which open your horizons, which are all things that are grounding you right now with Saturn in that 9th house. Now, Thursday, that's when Venus is going to go into that 11th. And then at that same time, your ruler Jupiter is going to start to oppose up to Chiron. So this is going to be more so next week, but I think at least the second half of the week, there is this healing taking place with you. It's nothing new. This is actually already gone exact the tail end of last year. So look to that time period if you felt like there was some healing taking place, so you can see exactly to what level it might be involved with for you. But here it's just helping you heal your perspective on life, helping you heal what's possible, but also helping you heal your identity, maybe your confidence levels, your self-assertiveness, these kinds of things, which you can be learning quite a bit about. So in a nutshell, the second half of the week, I think just being open to learning more about yourself, being open to learning more about how you can cultivate these daily activities, whether it's your work, your health, your diet, your regiments, whatever it might be, and that spiritual side. This is that interesting balance between the 6th house and the 12th house, between the daily tasks and the spiritual side, how you can cultivate that routine so you can get more of that alone time. Maybe it's through meditation, maybe it's through organizing your day, and vice versa, how you can have more faith and trust along that everyday life journey. So some things to sort of feel and reflect on, but like I said, that's going to be more so going into next week. Then Friday and Saturday, we are going to be in the gibbous phase, which is the high point of the lunar cycle going into next week, when we're going to have the full moon in that 6th house. So next week, you'll see that there's, and you'll probably feel this weekend, that there's just more awareness coming in and perhaps insight, and for some of you, maybe even a high point, like a literal cultivation of some of the things you've been working on the past 6 months regarding your work, regarding your health, your diet, or your routine. But at the very least, you have that insight, you have that awareness really coming through, and I think it's an excellent weekend for moving forward and implementing a lot of these things that might be directly related to these everyday activities. All right, Pisces, so have a great week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week.